Good evening, everyone. I have 2 or 3 questions. Many children of Portuguese nationals, as Sia said, want to learn Portuguese. During my last question, I think the Portuguese consulate or the Portuguese embassy should invest time and money to make children or the adults to learn or make them understand, to teach them. This was discussed last time. What has been done ever since for the last meeting? Next question. Many people of Portuguese national want to make an appointment online. Unfortunately or fortunately, whatever you call it is, they don't get the appointment straight away. But this is very important. The agents get the appointment and we need to pay some money for the agent to get the appointment. So what exactly is the system wrong? What is the problem in the window there? Got the next question. Third question. Last time, when we had a meeting, I asked this question: what have you done for the Portuguese nationals to vote? And last election, sorry to say, I campaigned for the Portuguese Prime Minister in Portuguese Consular, and I was not eligible to vote even. And you said to me, to Joe specifically, that we will do something after the election. Elections were held in the month of May 18th, to be specific. What has been done to help the Portuguese national to have their voting right sorted out? It's over 6 months now. I think maybe more. This is my last question. Okay. To be short, it took Mr. Ravi 1 year, 3 months to have a first meeting ever since he announced to support and help Portuguese national. Fair enough. Better late than never. If I'm not mistaken, Ravi, you know this one. And as this meeting looks like a hidden agenda of supporting the Portuguese president candidate, fair enough. But as a president candidate, we at least expect one word from the candidate before he leaves. If you are managing such a big election for the Portuguese president, how a candidate can leave the hall without saying a one word? Thank you. Thank you. So, here's our 4 questions. So, I think we'll. Yes. So, first and foremost, there's need to be a recognition about the language and investment. What has been done? The Institute of Camões exists since 2002. I believe many of you would not know that that institute exists since then, right? Right. So in 2023, after the elections of the Consular Advisory, we tried to bring that information to you. So there's 2 things that we need recognition here. One, the free will of search, and us to provide information. So when it comes to language, the consulates from Portugal, Kenya, UK, they are not the ones who invest. Okay, it's the Portuguese agenda. In this case, it's the British agenda, it's the Kenya agenda, it's the Indian agenda. So if they don't see as a priority, they will not invest in further teachers and further ways of connecting with the Portuguese language. So, Salvador, I understand and sympathize with you. There's a lot of Luso descendants that never been, but I just listened to Siena to scope for schools and kids to get the language. Yes? Simply did not help any of the Goa. Hold on. Salvador, please. Then, this is the part of the investment. So it's a priority of the community's agenda. It's not something that we can push the consulate to do. And this actually, the Institute for Camões is sitting in the embassy. So it is important to say that if we don't show the interest, they'll not come. And we are trying to make the bridge. Okay? I know It's very difficult to understand where we're sitting in the bridge, if we are in the far end or in the middle. But I believe that we are already getting to the middle. This is my view. Because beforehand, you needed a way to cross over the bridge. So that's the difference. And the second, the voting rights. Specifically, unfortunately, sometimes when we move residency, when we expire passports, we lose the right to vote because the system is, I'm going to be very slowly saying, semi-automatic registration. So what does it mean? It means if Salvador, like I'm seeing Mr. Mendes, bless Mr. Mendes, he was available to vote and now suddenly didn't appear there. I know Mr. Mendes' case, for instance. Sorry, just bring that in view because I can see you there. So if all of a sudden he disappeared from the electoral registry. Well, why is this happening? And I'm picking up not peculiar cases. I understand you because it depends on the person that is looking at you and doing the registration. If I go to Portugal, to my hometown, and I'm asking to renew my citizen card there, or my passport, which is easy, because it's very small hometown, so it's easy to get things by. If I don't say there, I don't want to be registered at my mom's house, back in my hometown, then they'll assume I'm living there. And then I lose the right to vote here, I lose my fiscal tax here. And moreover, that click makes a difference. And this is human. So we need to be very careful when we ask for renewed passport to ask the person in front of you, I live here in the UK, this is the address, confirm. Please, I want to vote. Don't exclude me from it. Because sometimes you might be here, but because she or he didn't click it, that's why it's semi-automatic, it doesn't happen. And I can't change this because it's in the law since 2018. But before you've been automatic registered, there was none. Okay? People were not automatically registered. We managed to change that because there was a movement and a petition to enter the Assembly of the Republic to happen this. So, Salvador, I'm more than happy. It's free of charge. You don't need an appointment. You don't need me. You don't need my cuddle. You can go there and say, with João told me, you can go to the consulate in London to make yourself register, see what happened with your address. It's free. You don't need to book anything, Salvador. Okay?
They don't accept people. They don't accept people when you go there.
They don't accept
No,
people.
they don't accept.
No, I'll answer to that, but I understand. Hold on. Let me finish that. Yes. Go for it.
If you say people to go to the Portuguese consulate just to do the registration of voting.
Oh, the address. Yes.
I'm just saying, for example, people will not be ready to go. There should be another way you can help us because people will not spend a whole day losing a day and go there, yes? Just for the registration.
So, Mark is very kindly suggesting, if we all in agreement, that we can come at a specific place in Armswell or Southall per month to do that. If everyone agrees, we can do that. And free. Okay? And I'm the first one to push for it, even before elections. I've spoken this way before elections, Salvador. More or less. Something happened in the wider picture. But the small steps until you see it, it's difficult. I get you. But this is a stage.
Yeah, this is very good. I mean, this should be done. So I think around 2 or 3 next Goans with the Portuguese National UK, it will only benefit in the long run.
Exactly.
Isn't it? So if you can go as he suggested, Onslow, Southall, Swindon, wherever, I mean,
that's the stepping stone. Because as advisory councillor, I can't do the legal binding because I'm not a lawyer. So informally I might know, but legally he can do Marco. That's why he's here.
That's why I'm just, it's only my suggestion.
Yes.
Maybe my suggestion is
and I can accept the suggestion as a criticism or as flattering because that's why we can improve together. And I am very open and honest on that. Thank you, Salvador. Appreciate it. Last but not least, you don't go without saying about the president candidate. So I see your link, and I'm going to put on his links and his shoes. So he came here to London, planned to London quite long ago, and I spoke with Ravi about the survey to come here. So I said, if we have a candidate for Republic to come here, I need to bring to all chaplaincies to the Goan community, to the people from Madeira, to the people from the mainland, to the people from Portuguese African countries. And I can't not discriminate because it's a Portuguese for all. It's not Portuguese of a few. I'll tell you something, you're probably not be aware of it. There's a guy, I'm not saying names, but you guys can Google search, in Portugal that is running a campaign and he has a billboard saying this is not Bangladesh. Yes? So, if this is not Bangladesh. Yes, people are not aware of what's happening. So, I'm not bringing, if someone comes here, and if someone that has an idea that this is not Bangladesh, would you like for him to be here? I don't think so. So, I know the audience, I know what I feel, and I'm the emissary, because he's chosen me. So, if I am the emissary, and if I help him to write the words, my words are his words. Okay? You don't listen to Christ, you listen to Almighty, the priest, to pass his words. So, same principle. I'm the emissary. You choose the mandatory. And it doesn't need to explain to each individual, though I understand his English is not his first language. Yes. So it would be unfair for him if I put him in speaking English and he can pass the right message. Because it's not his first language. And he's about 70 years of age. So I think given my skillfulness and proficiency in English, and then as an emissary, I can get more the message to you and to everyone here than he is trying to make a connection. Emotional connection, I can feel it. He was surprised, and I told him, you don't know what is coming. There's a lot of pressure from the mainland. What's happening there? What's happening there? And I say, they have the right to be informed. You need to be there. It's not just because I'm the emissary. I'm passing what's happening there. And I need to bring you here. I need to see the people exist. And that's why I brought him here. Okay? And there's no hidden agenda. You can see me here with him. Where's the hidden agenda? The hidden agenda would be not bring him here, give him something and say, sometime, this guy. This is a hidden agenda. I'm going here, open front and open soul. Okay? That's me. Marco, would you like to reiterate the monthly, and then I'll open the doors. Apologies, I'm taking too long, and I'll open the doors then to the other person to ask the questions, because it's fair for everyone democratically to ask questions, okay? If you want to reiterate that part.
I need to tell you, you don't need to pay anything to book an appointment to the Portuguese consulate, because the system, it's very easy. If someone needs help, please speak with this gentleman. I can come to the association one time per month, okay? And I can help you without fees. I only need if you want to change the address, I need your Portuguese ID and the first letter with the pins, the code of access. If you want to book appointments, I believe 5 to 10 minutes you can create your access online. Sincerely, it's not difficult to book appointments in the Portuguese consulate. Usually, I need to wait 1 week, 2 weeks. I don't understand why a Portuguese needs to pay fees to a company to book something extremely easy. Okay? If someone needs help, I can to help. Okay? Without fees. Please, you don't need to pay.
So just adding to that, this is nothing new about people taking money from, it's not anybody outside, some of our very own Goans are taking money from our own Goans with a promise that they'll get them an appointment. This has been going on now since a long time. I have been very vocal against it. In fact, at the festival, I spoke out against it. And my reason for getting the Portuguese consulate over here in 2018 is exactly that, to avoid that miscommunication, to bridge that gap, because I can tell you two things where these people play. First is the language barrier, because if the forms were in Portuguese, they'll say, oh, you don't worry, give me £200, I'll fill up your form and I'll get you an appointment. So our objective is to break every single barrier that is. First, learn how to fill up the forms yourself. It's like anything else. If you were to fill up a form in the UK government portal, and if you do not know how to fill up the form, you will go to somebody for help and pay a fee for that. So the empowerment of the people by educating them. So we were in fact having a similar conversation and just picking up on Salvador's message about people paying it. Now, how do we overcome that? Is by educating each one of us and propagating that information across to everybody as to how easy it is to book an appointment and to fill up a form. Now, we were looking at even organizing some Zoom sessions so that, some of us are busy in our own work. We've got people come from all the way from Swindon, from various locations. Practically, possibly, it's not possible to travel just for an hour session. So we were talking about even trying to bridge that gap via Zoom sessions so that we can have multiple Zoom sessions and you all can book an appointment within a Zoom session to train yourselves. And then you all can train other people within the community. It's a service that we will impart to you all, okay? The knowledge we imparted to you all, and you all should propagate that knowledge free of cost. It should not be left to yourself to then use that as a means of charging somebody else money to fill up a form. So we've been in close communication with that. So first of all, the power of information. Whatever information you've seen today, we're going to share it on our website for everybody to read. That's number one. The link which Mr. Pires mentioned about learning the Portuguese language and the institution that provide free online Portuguese language training, we will provide that link as well. The second part is about him having a session over here or in some location convenient where people can come and register yourself. So the Goan Association, we will take the initiative to organize that. We will send out a message at an appropriate time with you, and we'll give you all a list of documents with the help of Mr. Pires. We'll reach out to you. Our objective as a Goan Association is not about fielding any specific candidate, is about making sure that you are part of the democratic voting process. If you're sitting on the sideline and watching the change, and you're not part of the change, as I said earlier, that change will be forced upon you. So, my thing as a Goan Association is exercise your right to vote. Okay? And if you do not exercise your right to vote, we are just facilitating the process of checking that you have the right to vote. The reason why I mentioned the deadline of 30th of November, I know it's a short notice, but better late than never. Okay? The elections are in on the 18th of Jan, and I don't want you to wake up like Mr. Salvador did on election day saying that I want to vote, but I'm not eligible to vote. So, with that, is there any other question on the floor?
The other lady.
Mr. Pires said you need a minimum of 150 students to start the classes. So my question is, once you get that number, where would the classes be?
150 alunos para fazer uma classe de português. Não, mas é para os primários. Sim. So, yeah, can I? Não, vamos.
So, we are speaking primary school teachers. Yes. So, in short, the class, there are two modules. From my experience, depends on the school. Can be within the curricula or outside. Usually, they do outside. But with conversations with the group of parents, to try to be within the hours of the curriculum activities. If we have 150 students of primary school interesting, we can bring that express of interest all together in the book because they are from the same area and express that to the coordinator. Okay? That's one. Secondly, this is an elective year. So they work by elective years, as you all know, which means if they find that interest of 150 students, then they can allocate a teacher from Portugal to be there. So we have I don't know by memory if it's 5 or 6 here in the UK, but in short, they are allocated to have a full schedule. So the teachers that came from Portugal, they are paid overseas to keep that teaching, and of course, from basic to proficiency level, even A levels, yes, to secondary school. So this is what happened. If we do the process before the 30th of May, so they can organize the schedule, so expression of interest, filling up the forms, having a meeting with the headmaster and with a group of parents, then we can organize such to happen within this lecture year for the next one. Yeah, and this is in London, by the way. What I'm saying is in London, because if it's very far-fetched, yes, like a small town in the middle of nowhere, of course a teacher won't go there. Then what they would propose, and this is what happened in the past, which is in classes, but better something than nothing.
So from my understanding, saying it's going to take place in a primary school.
Not necessarily, but it can be from primary school to secondary school. Okay, it's not necessary to be primary school. I just give the example of primary school because it's when you start learning
So
the basics.
could it be on a Saturday? Out of the normal working day?
So
Because sometimes the kids would be really school day.
yeah, so that will depend on two factors: the curriculum of that school and the availability of the conditions of space to happen in a Saturday. Because the school needs to guarantee that they have the conditions to have the room available to do that. If the school closes at 6, we couldn't have classes at 6:30, right? Many of them after, I know it's a push sometimes, students are tired, but they would have the evening classes. So it does depend if the school allows on that situation.
So not only do you need a minimum of 150 students, not only do you need a minimum of 150 students, you also need a location, and you need an agreement from that.
So, by the way, just to help you out, it's not need the 150. It's a landmark. You don't need 150 students. Okay, if there's already an interest on the surrounding area, about 30, they can have the teacher. So if you have 30 here, 30 there, 50 there in Hounslow or Southall, then voila. You don't need to be that school 150. Yeah. Yeah. And then,
my personal thanks to Goan UK Association for having this session. It's really encouraging and enlightening. Councillors for coming all the way and enlightening us. The president who was here to the Goan children performed. That was very encouraging and my special thanks, appreciation for that. Sorry to be ignorant. My passport is due to expire and I am about to renew this. Will I have to go through this process?
Não. Ele está a perguntar se vai pelo processo de nacionalidade. Não. You can answer, Mark. No.
You are a Portuguese citizen. You can renew your passport if it's expired or will be expired in the last 6 months. Okay. You go to the appointment online. It's very easy. If you have any inquiry, please send to association one email. I can explain step by step. You don't need to pay the fees to book an appointment. And I can guarantee in 1-2 weeks you will have an appointment, okay? It's very, very quick and free.
just to add up, existing Portuguese nationals won't lose their nationality. Okay, let's start with the basics. If I'm a Portuguese citizen, I don't need to get my A levels to speak better Portuguese or my knowledge just because I'm expiring my passport, right? As all in life, we always are good at history or bad at history, that's fine, okay? If you're a Portuguese national, you're a Portuguese citizen, so you're not having all of these. It's for the ones that want to acquire Portuguese nationality in the future, okay? So, people that are already Portuguese nationals, you don't need to go through this process. Okay, just rest assured. Just to complement.
We have the same rights. It's a Portuguese
Yes,
citizen.
yes, a Portuguese is no one. There's no Portuguese of first class and second class. Yeah. Then that's just to complement. On the Goan Day, on the stand hall, we had some leaflets, and even on the last year, to show the 4 or 5 modalities running. I think it's good to like spin the wheel and share these because we have a lot of ways of booking, not just your mind. There are very more old ways you can call. So you call that, there's a number, you call it, I don't know by memory, of course, but you go direct to Portugal Central Services in English. Yes, option 1 Portuguese, option 2 English. It's like Marco. You dial 1, he speaks English. You dial 2, he speaks in Portuguese. Yes. So something of that sort, and then you can send the email as well. So there's and now yes, I have a turnaround time of about 5 days. You have the mobile digital key. Mobile digital key. Yes, there's vacancies, but depends on the days. And I know why people always complain. Why now at 8 o'clock in the evening there's no vacancies there? Myself included, I complain as well, and I moan. But there's a reason. It's called risk diversification. Back in the days when the system was not, I would say, better built for cybersecurity, people would, yes, I don't need to say anything else. So you divide 20 slots for digital mobile key, 20 slots for the CAT, 30 slots or 50 slots via email. You diverse the risk. You have the chances and likelihood of getting an appointment. Yes, that's how we do it. Okay, so I hope that we managed to help out here with this question.
To add on, well, my families are not Portuguese nationals, so if I have to travel, along with them, so I need a visa for them. So in that case,
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, they need a visa to travel to Portugal or Schengen countries. Yes. You don't need a visa because you are a European Union citizen, but your family, your parents, they need to request a visa, a tourist visa. Yes.
tourist visa, but these conditions are not required.
No. Tourist visas, they don't need to speak Portuguese. Don't worry, okay? Only if they want to be Portuguese citizen, your child or children, they don't need. Only your wife, your partner needs to prove they speak Portuguese, they will respect the Portuguese law. Children, your son, your daughters, no. Only need a UK birth certificate and one certified copy of the UK passport, okay? They don't need to prove your sons and daughters, they need to prove they speak Portuguese, okay?
Any last question on the floor?
Hi, just following up on the gentleman. Are you saying that if say my grandfather was Portuguese,
Yes.
and had a Portuguese passport. My father, born in Kenya, but was registered in Goa in 1936. I won't give you my age, right? So he would have been a Portuguese citizen. But he was born in Kenya, registered in.
If your grandfather was a Portuguese citizen, you can request to be a Portuguese citizen because you are a grandson. You need your grandfather birth certificate, Portuguese birth certificate. You need your daddy birth certificate.
Yeah.
You need to prove you are son of your father and grandson of your grandfather. You need three birth certificates: your birth certificate, your father's birth certificate, and your grandfather's birth certificate, Portuguese birth certificate. You need your criminal records, but you need proof or evidence of the Portuguese language. Okay?
I don't need it.
Yes, the grandsons they need.
But what about my father, who's
If your father will be a Portuguese citizen,
yeah.
after you can request your Portuguese nationality and you don't need proof you speak Portuguese, because sons and daughters, they need to give proof and evidence they speak Portuguese. Okay? You have two options. One, your father requests the Portuguese nationality. You need to wait probably 1 year, between 1 year and a half and 2 years. Yes. And after your father will be a Portuguese citizen, what do you need? You need your birth certificate with apostille. You need your Portuguese father birth certificate, the Portuguese birth certificate, and your UK passport certificate copy.
Okay.
Anything else? Yes, it's not a problem. Okay, don't worry.
Thank you.
No, this is not like a question. I think it is more advisable to have the Portuguese classes for adults as well. Maybe some of the adults want to take some Portuguese classes as well. And from what I believe, our children are the stepping stones for the future. As they are learning Spanish, French in their school, it will be very kind on the part of Portuguese consulate or the embassy in UK to inculcate the habit of learning Portuguese and make them aware of the culture and everything in near future. At least we can do something for them. Though we will not get that opportunity now we are here, at least they will appreciate down the line that we close our eyes. This is for the children, I think. And if you want to make the classes, you can register me the first one. Yeah. Thank you.
Salvador, thank you for the suggestion. I can't, as an individual, to provide private lessons or bring someone as a third party. Otherwise, they'll bring conflict of interest. I'm not doing that, okay? But I need to check with the coordinator if there's availability of face-to-face classes with adults, because now for adults, it's just e-learning, okay? But I understand your suggestion. What I can do is, I'll speak with Ravi to see 2 or 3 options. So I'm not biased to say this is the ones to teach Portuguese and to do those gatherings, okay? Out of working hours for adults. Because I don't want to bring third parties without knowing them. For the kids, you're rightly full, they are the future. So we need to, when there's an interest point of 30 or 40, to put on their curriculum. And this is the hard part. So it's like bringing the 2 bridges together. So Sienna already left, but we'll need to bring which schools around they would like to, so we can bring that on their curriculum, okay? And you're absolutely right. The more language they speak, the better for their future. Absolutely. So it's starting doing that expression of interest. We are not lost. We are not late. Okay?
And so I'll just pick you up on that point, because we are in touch with some of the schools that have got quite a substantial Goan population within the kids. So we can speak to them with the option over here. And I'm sure hitting the number of 150 children would be quite easy, because some of them I was just speaking to head teacher, I'm meeting some of them next week. So as an association, we will be there to support you all in whatever way we can, to speak to the consulate, whether the Portuguese consulate, with the Indian embassy, the British government, whatever it means. We are in a very good position. Do not of dual citizenship. Keep that. It is a very strong thing. You've got a British nationality, you've got a Portuguese nationality, and you've got an OCI. You tell me where would you find that. So keep that proper. Make sure you've renewed it on time. Do not allow your passports to expire too long, when it gets even more complicated. That my passport expired. I've got people who come up to saying my passport expired 2 years back, and and then want to renew it. That becomes very difficult. So as long as you keep on top of your document, as Mr. Peters mentioned, he's willing to help us out in having sessions over here, so that we can address some of our immediate problems. And as an association, we are happy to bridge that gap between the community and the various authorities. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, thank you so much for coming this evening. I hope this evening has been enlightening to you all as much as it is to us, because not only we get to know your problems, but also you understand the other side of the coin as well. For the consulate to speak to you all, the lawyers to speak to you all, understand what are the do's and don'ts. But nevertheless, thank you very much. Have a very good evening. Safe journey back home. But please stay in touch. We will update our website from time to time as we get the information from the Portuguese consulate. But if anything is there and we can help, please drop us an email on Goan Association UK.com, and we'll see how best we can reach out to you. Thank you and good night.